my word. Oh my word. What a week. Good morning, good morning, good morning, as you join us once again on an absolutely fantastic day today. It is absolutely gorgeous weather. Literally not a cloud. Well, there is over there, but almost not a cloud in the sky. Zanzus, good morning to you. Sarah, good morning to you. Catho G, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone joining us. Patrick H, good morning. Blue Badger, good morning to you. Oh, we've got a four, although he's not exactly new. Paul, good morning to you. I was thinking, should I keep my wellies on this morning? Cavalan, good morning to you. Oh. Got a pair of ponies this morning. Helen Wilkes, good morning to you. Sarah Davis, what shoes are you wearing today? Oh, I didn't realise he's come upon me there. Surprised by a pony. Oh, but no, I've got my walking boots on today. Thought I should have worn my wellies, but we'll see. We'll see. Fedora is out, must be the summer. It's not a fedora, it's the straw fedora. It's out. Dave W, good morning to you. Good morning. Have you put your letter in for Rishi yet? Oh my. So, honestly, I could have been Nostradamus. Like, what a lesson for me sometimes. Because last week we were talking about, good morning Alexander, good morning Hython as well. Good morning to all the people joining us. Like I say, click the share button. It'll be very, very helpful for us. Get more people in. Get more people joining us on today's Good Morning Walk. Because last week, I was talking about the fact, walking through the fields, that Rishi, or at least the rumour was, that Rishi might call a general election when the announcement about inflation rates go down. I then also have a bit of a contact who said that number 10 knew what the date of what the general election was going to be. So I'm like, if you take all that fact into what's been going on, I'm like, I could have called it. I should have, last weekend, I should have just called it. General election, going to be on Wednesday. I should have called it, but I didn't. Oh well, never mind. Lesson learned. Sometimes it's all about going big or going home. maybe last weekend I should have just gone absolutely big on the fact that there was going to be a general election. Maybe I should have just gone really big on that. Sarah, yeah, should have placed a bet. Yeah, exactly. Nick B, good morning to you. Oh, well, everyone loves the hat. Everyone loves the hat. But yeah, I could have gone big last week if I had just gone, there's going to be a general election on Wednesday. There's going to be a general election on Wednesday. God, I should have. But anyway, lesson learned, you know. We live, we learn. But anyway, here we are. In what can only be called the new season of the thick of it. And to explain everything else that's going to happen, really got to explain what the thick of it was. So I suppose in chat, if you've seen the thick of it, you know, post ones if you've seen it, post twos if you haven't, then at least we'll know how many people have and haven't seen it. Because then I'll know how much I actually have to explain the thick of it too. I know I've got quite a European audience, as well. So I'm not 100% sure how much the thick of it actually got out into Europe. So I'm seeing a couple of ones there. One. And the movie as well, because a lot of people don't realise it had a movie. I've only ever seen clips and memes from it. One. Campbell was good, yep. Sorry, Capaldi was good, not Campbell. One, yeah, I've seen lots of ones. But just a quick primer, just in case, so that it makes sense. Ben Ridings, good morning to you. I'd like to say, please do remember to click on that like and share button. And we'll get all this kicking off. So if you've never seen it, if you're shy about typing in chat and you've never seen it, don't worry. Fantastic series. Definitely recommend trying to track it down. It's quite easy to track down. It's on BBC iPlayer, I think. If not, you can get the series elsewhere, but definitely recommend tracking it down. The film is also very good as well, because honestly, it feels like what we've just had over the past 2 days has honestly been like a brand new series of the thick of it. It really does. But for those of you who haven't seen the thick of it, what is it about? Well, the thick of it is essentially about the PR and press team and the spin doctors of Number 10 and politics, and what they do and what they get up to behind the scenes. Essentially, as I believe Malcolm Tucker once said, it's like trying to direct children. Obviously, if you've ever heard the word omnishambles, that's where it comes from. Paul, good morning to you. Yeah, what a couple of days indeed. And honestly, I think it's worth going over the past couple of days because, oh my word, just honestly, if you're a writer for the thick of it, I mean, you couldn't write as good a comedy as what has happened over the past 2 days. Yes, Minister. Yeah, I'd say, Yes, Minister. If you've never seen the thick of it, Yes, Minister is probably a good analogy to what it was like. Probably a bit more modern, maybe, for modern audiences. But oh my word. Jane Lockwood, good morning to you. It is an absolutely corking day in Yorkshire today. With an absolute torrential downpour. So I was like, do I wear my wellies or not? I think my walking boots are going to they're already absolutely soaked, trudging through this grass. But anyway, we'll just nip underneath the tree for a bit, just so I can read the messages. Because this is the big problem when you're walking through the sun. I can't actually read the screen half the time, which is super annoying. But there you go. Yeah, Blue Badger, those rants were hilarious. Exactly. Chris Town, good morning to you. We'll tell you who the Tory MP will be on the 5th of July if we win. Would that be a result of ousting Sunak now? Possibly. There we go. Patrick H, a lot of Brexiteers now stepping down so they can avoid the blame and the consequences of Brexit. Oh, yes. Does not surprise me. Piccadilly Pit, hello from Yorkshire, man in Bulgaria. Well, good morning, and A up and away to you, because oh my, let's start this, shall we? Oh, let's just go over what's happened, honestly, in the past couple of hours. And as I said, this just feels like a completely new series of the thick of it. I think you'll understand in a moment. So what happened? Well, this all kicks off Wednesday, and the first thing we hear is that David Cameron had been recalled from Albania. And if a foreign minister gets recalled, like if a foreign minister ever gets recalled, something big is happening. So we hear about, oh, there's going to be a big cabinet meeting at 4 o'clock. You know, Rishi Sunak is meeting with his SPADs, that's his special advisors. If you don't know, if you're not familiar with the term, you know, he's meeting with his SPADs at about 2 o'clock. And meanwhile, no one's really sure what's going on. It seems to be almost a pretty normal parliamentary day. PMQs happens. And honestly, when you look back at PMQs, there was really nothing to give away that Sunak was going to call a general election. There was absolutely nothing in there. He gave nothing away. If he knew that he was going to call one, which I think we highly suspect this to be the case, and we'll get to that in a moment, he certainly gave nothing away in PMQs about it. So time ticks on, 2 o'clock happens, special advisors meet, roll around 3 o'clock, 3:30, we're now getting rumours that this is a meeting to dissolve Parliament, that it is going to be a general election, that it is going to be on. Everyone checks to see if the King is in residence in Buckingham Palace. He was. So everything keeps on rolling. The meeting kicks off 4:15. Still, all these rumours building. It's going to be a general election. Going to be a general election now. Going to be a general election now. Everyone, including myself, checking, is there anything else going on that might indicate that this is maybe going to be an announcement about something else? I didn't have a look online to see if there was. And of course, that very same day, Russia actually launched an anti-satellite weapon that day as well. That got quite missed in the news because of all this. So that might turn out to be a thing in the future as well. Who knows? Maybe we'll end up covering that soon. Oh. But that's where we get to. That's where we get to on this. And then stuff starts coming out. All starts coming out of, it's going to be a general election. It's going to be on the 4th of July. And bear in mind, remember, we were hearing that long before the announcement. That was confirmed by all the major news channels. All of that coming out, 4th of July, election date, 4th of July. It's going to be an election announcement, 4th of July. And of course, this then, interestingly enough, then starts the rumours of, and we still don't know, this may be, confirmed, later down the line. Maybe this is a thing that we find out in I don't know, maybe a couple of years' time. Maybe when someone writes a book about, Rishi Sunak's time in office, maybe we find out what was going on behind the scenes. But all the rumours are now flying about that the Tory rebels get wind of this. They get wind, he's going to call a general election, and they are furious. Why on earth would you go now? We're 20 points behind in the polls. Nothing is working. Rwanda ain't going to work in time if you're going to go for a general election in town. Yes, inflation is down, but really the cost of living crisis is still pretty much there. Prices since 2020 have gone up 20%. You know, if you've seen the Sky News graph, and I can't remember who it was now, and he's like, this is inflation. This is what we're talking about. This line here. So there is nothing really good for the Tories to be talking about at an upcoming general election. You're 20 points behind. The local elections were an absolute bloodbath. Why on earth would you go now? So they are furious. And like I say, we'll probably find out this in the fullness of time. Was this always planned? Was this the plan? That this was the date Rishi Sunak was always going to go on? I know that Graham talked about the whole theory that if Sunak goes now, and he has a general election now, he can get his kids in time to start school in America if he starts now. Oh, hang on, that is Dylan. Good morning to you from a lost lad in Finland. Good morning, A up to you in Finland, lad. A up and away. Like I say, click like and share button, lad. Click like and share button, and we'll crack on, shall we? So where were we? Anyway, take my Yorkshire accent off. gotta make him feel like he's at home. So where were we? Yes, rebellion. So we do not know whether this was actually the plan or Sunak was forced into calling a general election. But before we continue what happened with Sunak, let's talk about how this rebellion petered out. So immediately there's a rumour coming out from a senior Tory, we still don't know who it was, saying, we are absolutely flabbergasted, why on earth are you going to go now? And then it comes, it hits like a truck. This is going to be a general election. All the rebels trying to call on all the Tories that are going to lose their seats, send your letters in before dissolution, because somehow this is going to stop the general election. Well, it's too late. You know, it's too late. The Prime Minister's already called one. Not only that, let me take you through what would have actually happened. So let's say it's Thursday morning. Sunak's called the election. Graham Braley comes out and says, I've got enough letters in the 1922 committee to have a vote of no confidence. He would call one, probably very quickly, and say, look, there's going to be a vote of no confidence on the table. And then you've got the question of, does Sunak win or lose it? If he wins, things carry on as normal. If he loses, well, he's got a choice. It can either A, try and hold another one after trying to sort of rally people around and try and have another vote, or he can go, okay, I'm gone, enjoy. And then you have a very, very public leadership election, while at the same time having a general election, because Parliament and the processes do not stop because the Tory party decided to throw a hissy fit. Nothing could have stopped this. The idea that the rebels were portraying that, oh, we can somehow reverse this announcement. No, you couldn't. You could not, in a month of Sundays, reverse this. This would have been absolutely disastrous if they had gone this route. And honestly, I wish they would have, because oh boy, oh boy, would that have been fun to talk about. So what's that? Dean. I mean, what message do they send in trying to think that delaying is the best to send? means that Tory absolutely obliterated. Sunak versus Starmer is bad for them. Starmer versus whatever loon the membership then pick. Exactly. It would have been disastrous, hilarious, and I'd have been there every single moment of it, just laughing away, thinking, what on earth are you guys doing? But there you go. So, RP, good morning to you. Tom Nielsen, good morning to you as well. Like I say, please do remember to click on that like and share button. Like I say, let's recount the new season of The Thick of It. So this was the last gasp almost of the Tory rebels, and it was the battle I am calling of the wet Rishi. Because let's rewind the clocks now and go back to that ill-fated announcement. For whatever absolutely dumb reason, someone decides, maybe it was Sunak, maybe it was one of the advisors, who knows, decides it's an absolutely fantastic idea to send Sunak out to deliver the announcement. And remember, it is not good luck when you are saying, I've got, and you don't take an umbrella out in the rain. Either you come out doing it, or someone else comes out and holds it above you. It was not that hard to do. We know that there are umbrellas just inside. We know that there are umbrellas just inside number 10 because we'd seen all the ministers walk in. He gets absolutely soaked while delivering a somewhat, let's face it, awful speech. I mean, that is just a video entirely itself. We could have just done a good morning walk entirely based on that premise. Just Sunak's awful speech. But we didn't today. We've got this to cover instead because it's more funny. Oh. And then after his speech, this is what gets weird, because all the ministers walk out with umbrellas. I kid you not. Look at the footage of all the ministers walking out. All of them with umbrellas. Like some bizarre umbrella centipede. But that's what happened. Meanwhile, it should also raise questions. What actually happened to that multi-million-pound media conference suite that Boris Johnson built? You know, it would have not taken a lot of stuff to check the weather forecast to see that, oh, actually, we might need to do this announcement inside. Like I say, apparently they've got a multi-million-pound media suite. Apparently not. Apparently not. But then things start to get a bit omnishamblish, if not really already. Because soon after the announcement, you know, you want to tee up and get ready all your volunteers for the upcoming general election, right? You want to get them ready. You want to make sure that they're ready to fight the next general election. And so CCHQ sends out a message to all the Tory volunteers in London. One gets sent out. It goes, you know, we're going to have a launch party, 7 o'clock this evening. You know, be there, be seen with Rishi, and help us launch our campaign. And of course, what happens? All these people cannot buy tickets because it's already sold out. Oh, that was a bit of a leap. Can we walk around now? Probably not. There we go. That's better. Oh, thank you very much, Cathode G, for the super chat. Oh, hang on. Why didn't Sunak just step down and run off to the US? Probably because he wants to fight a general election. Probably just out of spite, really, Cattle. Probably just out of spite. So there's this big launch event, and now we get news that all these Tory volunteers, who are going to be the ones in London at least, doing all the door knocking, pretty much most of the heavy lifting during the general election, none of them can go to this event. Absolutely not a one. And with one source reporting that they are furious, that they are absolutely furious with what's going on, and that they are going to suspect that instead of a room full of volunteers trying to, keep them all happy, instead it's going to be a room of people from CCHQ who aren't going to be doing any of that work. And quite frankly, all the London Conservative volunteers, the door knockers, etc., they are furious. They are absolutely furious on this. Anyway, we've got a plank of wood in our way. We're gonna try. Do we go over? Do we go under? Oh, we go under, and up we go. Oh. There we go. I love it. Someone's already graffitied on the plank of wood. Why would you put this here? Oh. Anyway, yeah, launch event. Jesus. Sunak's best speech. Which one exactly? He's done so many. Cavalan stand up and fight like Penny Mordaunt. Exactly. Even worse. Even worse. T-shirt looks cool. It's an Arrakis T-shirt, the Surf Arrakis. This is one of those points where you're like, surely this could not get any worse. Surely this could not get any worse. Oh, it does. It gets infinitely worse. So, during this event, this launch event, you decide that it's a good idea to kick out live on air. Remember, this is being done live on air, to kick out Sky News, who, according to them, had been invited to this event, and they could not understand why they were being ejected, because, like I say, they'd been invited, but they were like, okay, we're going to go then. And you see the video of them being, hurried out of the hall, just as Rishi is about to make his big announcement speech. And oh my, from what we know, because I don't think there's any footage of it happening, it wasn't, should we say, the most inspiring. People really didn't seem over enthusiastic or enthused about what was about to happen. And it just takes that alone, you'd have thought, was bad enough. But there were also MPs taking interviews, because we've got now Steve Baker, who we know through the numbers, as Vorders would say. Look at the numbers, look at the data. Oh, I went all Yorkshire and I said data. So you look at the numbers, and he is going to lose his seat, and he gets questioned. You're going to lose your seat, aren't you? He goes, no, this might be difficult to cross. Ugh, do we? Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's got in my shoe. Oh, that's wet. Oh. Well, they're going to need to go. They're going to need to go on that. Anyway. Oh, Hython Puds, good morning to you. Do you think deep down that Rishi actually knows he's doing an absolutely terrible job and he's hated, polling even lower than Truss, or he's just deluded that he still thinks he's doing a good job going through his head? What are your thoughts? Difficult to tell. I mean, we've heard like last week that Rishi was trying to rally the troops in CCHQ, and he gave this speech of where he said that all the people in CCHQ are going to be part of one of the biggest comebacks, of like the biggest political comebacks in history. So I think he is just that deluded. I really think he is. And I think the special advisors have also deluded him into it as well, because I think I've said this on stream before and on some other videos. The special advisors have been briefing Tory MPs saying, oh yeah, when you look at these numbers, don't worry that you're down here in like 20%, because you see that big like undecided, the people saying don't know. Well, when it comes to the general election, they're going to vote for you. Now, that didn't happen at the local election. Those don't knows did not come to the Tories' rescue. And it certainly looks like that they will not come to the rescue of the Tories in an upcoming general election. Because we were talking about things getting worse. Because Rishi decides to go to Northern Ireland to actually do a bit of Brexit drumming up, to sort of say, hey, I got the Northern Ireland Protocol done, guys. Look how fantastic the Windsor Protocol is working. So it starts off with him on the plane, pictured next to an exit sign. Like, honestly, I think there's someone in the department or someone on his team knows they're going to lose. So they're like, tell you what, if we're going to lose, I'm going to have the most fun I can possibly have. And they seem to be making him the most memeable Prime Minister from just so many moments in the past couple of days. Honestly, it looks like there's some sort of like Labour insider on like his team, and they're doing this on purpose. Because if you've seen that photo, it's like, oh, you've got Sunak on the plane and he's next to an exit sign. Yeah, that's not a good look. That's not a good look at all. Oh, it's terrible look for him. Oh. But yes, as always, please do remember to click on the like and share button. Of course, down below there are links to the Patreon page, etc. That you can help support the channel. You can also super chat as well. So thank you very much to everyone who does help and support the channel. Whoop. But we continue with his Northern Irish tour. And what happens is he ends up going to a local Morrison's. Oh no, we haven't even mentioned what happened in the pub in Wales yet. Oh God, see, there's so much happened, you forget that some of the stuff actually happened, and you're like, oh yeah, that happened as well. Rishi Sunak in a pub asking the people of Wales, did their team get through to the Euros? And honestly, the people around him that he's in this pub look just so depressed. There's no one having any drinks, so it honestly looks like it was completely set up, which wouldn't surprise me. Because later on, which way to go? I'll tell you what, we'll go this way. Because later on, Rishi Sunak goes to a factory and, well, practically copies an episode of The Simpsons. Mr. Burns, your campaign has been described as a runaway freight train. Why are you so popular? Oh. Turns out all these factory workers are actually Tory councillors. You just can't make this up. That was directly ripped from an episode of The Simpsons. I never thought I'd be in a situation in politics where I could say to, like, the at the time government in control, Simpsons did it first. But here we are. Anyway, so yeah, the whole Wales thing. Yeah, it was a brewery visit in Wales. He was asked, will you all be watching the Euros? Cue the silence and the tumbleweed. He took the idea from 30p Lee. Well, quite possibly, we don't know. Let's go this way. This is a somewhat well-worn path. Of course, yes, Gove and Andrea Leadsom also left last night. So at least that's the coke problem solved in Westminster. Yeah, life imitating AI. Exactly, Tom. Exactly. So anyway, back to Northern Ireland. He goes to the Morrisons, and now we've got that very memeable picture of him looking at a loaf of bread as if it's some sort of, you know, ancient, powerful artifact he's been handed. Like, what is this? Is this even bread I hold before me in my hand? What, yo, peasant? What artifact have thou given me? Yeah, so that's another highly memeable moment brought to us by this campaign. And, of course, almost directly copying an episode of The Thick of It. If you look at the Morrison sign, yes, Rishi Sunak was in the perfect position at one point where he was blocking out the Morrison sign and it was saying moron. You could literally not write this good comedy when it is unfolding right before your eyes. But there you go. You literally could not make that up. But this is the whole point of the whole thing. Is this whole campaign so far has just been one thing after another, and yet we've got 6 weeks. We've got 6 weeks of this. This is just the launch. What do you rest of the campaign is going to be like, especially when you've got Steve Baker, aka the hard man of Brexit, saying, well, I could go on holiday, or I could campaign for Rishi. I'm going to go on holiday instead. Just, how many other MPs are going to do that? How many other MPs are going to go and say, I'm just not going to campaign for you, Rishi. I'm just going to go and I'm just going to go and see, you know, on holiday and do his super fast catamaranging. What on earth? Honestly, it was just pure partridge. Pure partridge. But again, another bizarre, memeable moment of someone saying, well, I'm going to go ride motorbikes, do some skydiving, and, you know, get involved with the super fast catamaranging crowds. How many other MPs are going to start distancing themselves from Rishi Sunak? I think there's going to be a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of MPs, or at least Tory MPs, distancing themselves from Rishi Sunak, just knowing how toxic he is. So they're going to keep him at arm's length. If Rishi turns up in your constituency, well then, I can guarantee you, a lot of MPs are suddenly going to be mysteriously absent. Mysteriously absent, shall we say. Or you'll probably get a lot just going on holiday. Ben Kershaw, who sponsors Barley Town's football shirts. Orca, I want to say, but I don't know. I haven't seen the Barnstown football shirt for a long while. I haven't seen that for a long while. Oh, hang on. There we go. Dean, can you imagine them as they try and bring in the poll numbers? The thick of it. I've got to go, darling. The bailiff has arrived to take me and my will to live. Oh, honestly, it's going to be like this for the rest of the campaign. It really is. It really is. In 6 weeks' time, we're just going to have to do just a sum up of what happened, all the gaffes, all the stuff, because I just think there's going to be just so much to mention. I mean, just as I was trying to recount the story to you. Oh, train's going past. I mean, just as I was trying to recount the story to you of it, I'd completely forgotten about the brewery incident. You know, the Steve Baker moment, which I think reinforces to me the notion that you're going to get many Tory MPs just going rogue. I think you are. I think you're just going to get many Tory MPs just going completely and absolutely rogue, having their own mini manifestos, their own launches, just ignoring Rishi Sunak and the main, you know, actual national Conservative campaign, which is going to be a mess. It's going to be an absolute mess. It's going to be a thing to watch. It's going to be an absolute masterclass in pure disasterism, but it's going to be fun to watch. Yeah, Tom Nelson, exactly. Tory MPs reassuring Sunak that they're right behind him, just completely abandoning ship. Exactly. Sarah, Rishi's already been to my town, and that was my MP with him in the brewery. Oh, I bet your MP's already regretting that. Yeah. Worth looking into, Sarah. How many pictures was he actually in with Rishi Sunak? Like, how was he trying to sort of stay at the edge of the room, trying to avoid all the cameras? How many pictures was he actually in with Rishi Sunak?
Blue Badger, good morning to you as well. I thought I've already said good morning, but yes, good morning everyone else. If I've missed you, like I say, click the like, click the share button, etc. As well. Blue Badger, LBC has noticed that Rishi is complete idiots advising him. Oh, well, if the past 24 hours, well, the past 2 days, anything to go by, I don't think we've seen anything yet. Billy Kershaw, my MP Richard Holden versus Victoria Derbyshire, absolutely mint. Chris Town, or Sunak completely sacks the PR team and hires Bob the Builder. That was another thing as well. There is a video of Rishi rebuilding a red wall. I kid you not. Count Binface put this out. Of like, there's a picture of Rishi Sunak rebuilding a red wall. What on earth are you trying to do, Rishi?
Right. There you go.
And then we get on to the Titanic announcement. You know, you go to the Titanic, just as many of your MPs are, jumping ship, and you're doing it outside what would be essentially a sinking ship, a famous ship known for sinking. Yeah, not a very good look, was it? Not a very good look at all. Complete, absolutely disaster class in how not to do PR. And coming from someone who's done a bit of crisis PR in the past, you know, I'd advise you probably to stay away from such a background. And you'd think whoever advised him to do that, long may you remain on this campaign, my friend, whoever you are. Please keep on entertaining us all throughout these next 6 weeks. Please keep on making many a meme of our prime memester, because that's what he's turning into at the moment. Oh. Catho G, they led journalists around Belfast Titanic Quarter looking for Sunak. Exactly. That was something else that happened as well. No one knew like where Sunak actually was, where this press conference was meant to be taking place. So everyone's like running around trying to find out where this announcement's happening, where this press conference is taking place. It's like they'd realised that it was a bad look, so they were going to try and do the press conference with as little people, as little press attention as they possibly could. Honestly, it feels like that was the plan. Yeah, Tory MPs will be 35 miles behind him. Exactly. CFAX for all, indeed. Indeed, Billy, indeed. Blue Badger, wonder if he makes them sit on a tarp while they eat and watch TV like he did. Jane Ashton, good morning to you. Sarah Davis, it is illegal for an MP to campaign and make it look like they're an independent by dropping the Tory name or even changing the colour of the leaflet. If elected, they say, I'm with the Tories. Oh, I expect that to happen a lot during the campaign, Sarah. Expect to see a lot of literature that, shall we say, skirts the edges, skirts the edges of that. I can guarantee you we are going to see a lot of that.
So, Davis, aren't the boatyard trying to get money from the government as well? Probably so. Would not surprise me. Probably so.
We were always in for trouble when Russell Howard pointed out that child Rishi Sunak was sat watching Baywatch, eating food in a plastic sheet because he paid so little attention. Honestly, this entire thing is going to be one disaster after another, but Mike Fletcher, watching the COVID inquiry in Simon Case, said it was like a rat's nest. Hey, another reason to go early because the next COVID module starts, and I don't know if that gets delayed because of the general election or whether that's going to continue. So imagine this: you're going through a general election campaign. Meanwhile, you've got the COVID inquiry reminding people of what an absolute disaster the Conservative government did during the COVID crisis. Yeah, that's going to be a good look, isn't it? Craig, they have to register as a Tory, but they can actually be vagued up in the literature so long as they don't say somewhere who paid for it. Blue Badger, he thought he was normal. Cathal OG, The Guardian is saying that Sunak today is taking today off. The BBC say he'll be in the northeast. Sky in his own constituency. Says it all, really, doesn't it? Says it all. Honestly, that looks like an absolute Mickey Mouse show when you've got three of the big media outlets, Guardian, Sky and the BBC, all saying that Rishi Sunak is going to be a completely different place, and one even saying that he's going to be taking the day off. Well, I can guarantee you the Saturday papers and the Sunday papers are going to be full of opinion pieces and quotes from Tories or senior Tories complaining about Sunak. And that's not even getting into probably what Conservative Home is probably going to be putting out as well. Oh yeah, a bright spark in all this. Frosty the No Man been denied sitting as a Conservative MP. Probably because he's been writing some very negative articles about the Tory party for the past couple of weeks. Yeah, really, honestly, probably one of the smartest moves the Tories are probably going to make during this campaign. saying no to David Frost. Imagine that if we look back and we go, did the Rishi Sunak campaign, did the Conservatives actually at any point during this campaign make a smart move? Did they make any good ideas and or announcements? Probably saying no to Frosty the No Man, probably the smartest move they've made all this campaign. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you've heard, because it slipped under the radar, Matt Hancock has had the whip restored to him. So he left as a Conservative MP. That news sure slipped out very quietly. Yeah. Do you think the Tories should ask voters to judge us by our record? Oh. What a record. What a record. Chris Town, there's an image of a one-man band who looks like Sunak. I've posted it already on Facebook twice already. Blue Badger, I've noticed they've stopped saying judges on our record now. Exactly. He's taking the day off today to do another reset. Well, who knows? He could be in North Yorkshire somewhere. Could be in his own constituency somewhere. Who knows? Who knows? Billy Kershaw, was it the threat of the no confidence vote that forced his hand? Possibly, Bill. I mean, we'll find out in the fullness of time, maybe like a year or so from now, what happened behind the scenes, and why he, called the general election. Maybe it was the plan all along, to do this, because I suspect, from my little contact I've had, there was indications that Number 10 knew the date of the general election the week before. And if you time it with this, because remember, this time last week, we were here saying, well, if you time it with this, maybe he'll use it to call a general election. That's the rumor. Turned out that rumor was right. Like I say, I have the best rumors. I have the best rumors, the most accuratest of rumors. Oh. Walk straight into a spider web. There we go. You mean an unnamed spokesperson from Downing Street? Blue Badger would call it the rap sheet. Billy Kershaw, the plan, the plans. Honestly, you could make an entire comedy series just about the past 2 days. I would not be surprised if someone did that. That would be an amazing series to watch. I'd be there for that 100%. At this point, Sunak resetting just reinforces the idea he's a malfunctioning robot. Exactly, Craig. Exactly. Sarah Davis. Let me get my teeth back in. Sarah Davis, I bet Sunak is just avoiding his swimming pool. Still having, quote, wet dreams after Wednesday. Not surprising. Number 3, good morning to you. Tom Nelson, one of their slogans seems to be back to square one with Labour. Not sure they really realise what a fresh start is, what most voters what they really want. Exactly. Talk about misjudging the mood. Honestly, it's just this entire campaign is going to be, it's just going to be wonderful. Honestly, it's just going to be wonderful to watch, just from so many perspectives, from like this is how you don't do PR, this is how you don't do marketing, this is how you don't come up with slogans. Got a bit of a horse for me this morning.
I think it's delicious.
Are you feeling a bit hoarse? Oh. Blue Badger. Sarah, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's not like they've altered the voting requirements, changed the boundaries, and messed with the students with the timings. Yeah, all perfectly timed, which leads me to think that this was just all part of the plan. Like I say, in the fullness of time, we'll find out, I can assure you. Mike Fletcher, Boris Johnson's page tomorrow might be very scathing, could be a right laugh. Oh my word, I'd forgotten about that, Mike. Oh my word. Absolutely, I absolutely agree with you on that. Boris Johnson's page on this is going to be absolutely he's going to be absolutely apocalyptic, probably just laying into Rishi at every single opportunity he gets over the next 6 weeks. It's going to be hilarious. Bezarath, at this point, I think Sunak's advisors are just in competition to see who can get him doing the most stupidest thing. Maybe so. At least someone's having fun on the campaign. At least someone's having fun. Andrew Jenkins now saying it's the time to bring back Boris. Oh my word! If she is actually saying that, how? He's not an MP, unless he stands somewhere. But I don't think he's going to be, shall we say, very enthusiastic about campaigning for Rishi. Has Hancock got a seat? Hancock's leaving, I think, but he's now also had the whip restored to him. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll get some more Hancock's half hours from him. Is Bozza going to go work for Paddy Power? I wouldn't be surprised. I bet Boris opens his column up with 2 lines of laughter. Maggie Pie, good morning to you. I highly suspect that Rishi Sunak is indivisible. Gary Arnold, good morning to you.
But oh my, what a week compared to last week. We're like, yeah, there's rumours that, Rishi Sunak might call a general election because of might confined with, inflation numbers. And I was saying, well, we're at the point where technically any rumour can and should be considered true until it's disproven. Could I stand here right now and say I predicted the general election? Moggy is leaving too, yippee. I still haven't 100% confirmed whether or not he is. That still may just be one of the rumours going around, but we'll see what happens. Patrick H. Hancock doesn't want to be around when the COVID inquiry report is published. That's very true. Billy Kershaw, where off to your holidays? I'm off to Turkey for a week. I'm off to a place called Kalkan, so that's going to be quite nice. Sunak could become a weatherman. Well, why not? Why not? It would fit with his predictions and the stuff that he's been getting up to. So yeah. I am going to try and do a good morning walk tomorrow. Next week, shall we say. So we won't be in the UK next week. We will be somewhere in a very, very sunny Turkey, probably doing it maybe quite early, just because of the time zones, and just because in Turkey this time, normally from like 11:30 till about maybe 2:30, you probably don't want to move quite a lot because it is incredibly warm. So we're probably going to be doing it in the morning. Maggie Pie will be doing a book club with the Rishi book as well. I never finished the Boris book club. Well, I never finished the Boris book club because I just felt Borised out. I just felt so Borised out. Honestly, when I tried to sit down and do the next one, I just couldn't bring myself to do it because I was just so Borised out. But maybe we might do a different type of one. Maybe what I'll do with this is I'll read the full thing and I'll just go through it and I'll just say, well, this happened in this chapter, this happened in this chapter. Maybe try and sort of confirm just what was going on in the Sunak prime ministership. But ultimately, yes, I will be getting Sunak at 10 or Rishi at 10, whatever they happen to call it. And oh yes, did you see Theresa May's final speech in the House of Commons, calling out all those people who were, quote, in it for their own ambitions and not for the people of the country. Honestly, sometimes I've looked at Theresa May ever since she was ousted and thought, you know what? She's just sat there living her best life. You know what? I don't agree with her politically on many things, but you know what? Good for her. Good for her. Even in her last speech, making a joke at her expense, saying, even when I was trying to, get my agenda through Parliament, even when people wouldn't vote for it for 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and she laughed at herself. She made a bit of a joke of herself, although you could see that she was a bit pained by that. So
she's able to laugh at herself, I suppose in many ways. But hey, she's living her best life. I don't agree with her in a lot, but you know what? Good for her for taking that attitude. Good for her. Gary Arnold, is Rees-Mogg definitely standing down? I have heard the rumours. That is the rumours going around that, so what the rumour is that Rees-Mogg had a phone call with Rishi Sunak. And we don't know what it is about, but it happened roughly very shortly after Gove announced his intention to stand down at the next election. So will he stand down? Will he not? Who knows? Maybe this is one of the rumours that is just a rumour. Larry the Cat, good morning to you. Drip, 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 little Sunak showers. Oh, that is just going to live on for the next 6 weeks, isn't it? It's just going to live on. May speaking about herself too, isn't she? Exactly. Yeah, May won't struggle with the cost of living in retirement. Exactly. Does she mean to still run through the fields of wheat? You know what? Good for her. If she wants to go run through some fields of wheat, good for her. Tom Nielsen, Theresa May was mistaken politically, but she was seen in Europe to try and do the best for her country. More can be said, of course, about her successes. Exactly. Maggie Pie, we need a celebratory cake stream if Mogg stands down. Oh, if he does, well, we'll be getting more than cake. Cake and a bottle of Prosecco. Chris, I mean, if Sunak actually managed to doom the Tories forever, would we thank him kindly for it? Probably so. I mean, ironically, absolutely. Bellsworth, I don't want him to stand down. I want to see him lose. Absolutely. I want to see Michael Gove lose as well. Patrick H, good chance that Rees-Mogg will lose his seat if he doesn't stand down. And that's another thing as well. They do not want to be seen as losers. If there is going to be such a wipeout, they do not want to go through the embarrassments of being in that town hall, live the announcement, losing their seat. They do not want to go through that. So there's going to be a lot of Tories who will. I mean, that's another thing. How many Tories do you think are going to stand down between now and Monday? Like, I would not be surprised if we get another couple during the next couple of days. Did the Maybot do the robot on the way out? I wish she did. I generally think this election won't last 6 weeks. No, it is. It is. And it is going to be a laugh riot, I think. Given how it's been going through, it's going to be a laugh riot. Mike Fletcher, are the ERGs still a force? Put it this way, I think the force left them after the Windsor vote. I think that they are honestly a very, very spent force. And I would not be surprised to see an attempt by moderate conservatives to push the ERG and Euroscepticism either out of the party completely or try and push it to the sides. And like I say, we're going to see that probably potentially play out during the upcoming Tory civil war. So like I say, after the general election, we can go into that. So, you know, we've got content for weeks, months coming up for you. Alex Chapman, Sunak will concede defeat in 4 weeks if MPs stand down. Continues. No, he's still gonna stand. I think CCHQ will insist that he remains because they do not want to do a leadership contest while there's a general election. Larry the Cat, yeah, I'd love to see Greasy Smoke crying in the sports hall and see Gullis flying off into the sunset. God, what an image you paint there, Larry. What a beautiful image. Maggie Pie, Someone said that even Moggy's nanny would be voting against him now. Sorry, Jacob. It's for the best for the country. God, that would be wonderful. Chris Town, wonder if they're now going to have problems finding candidates. Would not surprise me, because at this moment, according to the rule book of the Conservative Party, if an election is called and there is no candidate selected, CCHQ will appoint a candidate of their choosing, meaning you could end up with candidates with massive skeletons in their closet that end up coming out during this campaign. And you end up with these really awful, not vetted enough candidates standing. I would not be surprised if that becomes a thing during the election as well. Sarah Davis, if there is an exodus of MPs walking away, will there be enough Tories to contest all the seats? Maybe not. Maybe not. Who knows? I say, we'll find out over the next couple of weeks. Cavaland, after the election, we'll be dancing in the streets like Jagger and Bowie. Oh, we will be. Gary Arnold, Brian's How They Broke Britain really opened my eyes about how the think tanks and all the corruption around the Tory party. It is a fantastic book. It is a very, very good, fantastic book. Very, very good at setting the scene for a lot of that. So yeah, I do agree with you, Gary, on that. Very good book indeed. Maggie Pie, what happens if Rishi loses his seat? Can he be a party leader without a seat? Technically, no. Obviously, at that point, he will have lost his seat. So it'll be... It'll be maybe... I'm just trying to think what would happen. You would probably almost instantly go into a leadership contest at that point. You would go general election instantly into a leadership contest. And then it's who's left. Who's left of the Tories? Who do they go with? Who's got a seat left who can be party leader? And oh boy, the knives are going to be out, because they have been sharpened long enough. Many a Tory MP has many a pointed stick ready to go. Larry the Cat, the new Tory election anthem, deeply drippy. Very true. Number 3, I've met JRM. If he stands down, then I won't be able to gloat over him losing. Exactly. Cathode G, Reform needs to find 160 candidates, having dropped now 110 already. Tom Nielsen, might be better to leave the skeletons in the cupboard until after the election. Well, we'll see. Bravenor Patel will be the next leader. Yeah, it depends. If they survive, whoever survives is going to be left. And not just Braverman Patel, but Badnock as well. She's worth probably putting in there. Like I say, it's all who survives. It's who survives and who is there, who can then lead the party. And then just the backfighting, the arguing that is going to take place. It is just going to be full-scale civil war. If 1997 was anything to go by, they are going to be absolutely fighting each other for at least the next couple of years. And the longer it lasts, it's going to be fantastic to watch. The Tories might as well just have a leadership contest the same day at time of the GE campaign. It can't get worse for them. Very true. Well, you say it can't get worse, but you've just seen the past week. So, with that, thank you very much, of course, for joining me this morning on a fantastic Good Morning Walk. You will be able to catch me live tomorrow on the Sunday Roast. I will be live with Van Man Talks and, of course, Max and Political X tomorrow on the Good Morning Roast. So go check that out tomorrow as well. And, of course, I will be back next weekend, probably from a very, very sunny Turkey. So do come check me out next weekend as well. And of course, I will still be doing some videos. I'm going to try and record some as I leave on. Well, as I do some videos tomorrow on Sunday. So I'm going to try and record some videos, but I'm also going to do some shorts and some videos while I'm out there as well next week. So there will be still content coming out. There will not be a Pony Club video next week either, just because I won't have my studio set up and stuff to be able to do it. So there probably won't be one next week. So sorry about that, but I will try and make up for it while I am out there next week. So we'll see that. So
Thank you very much for joining me this week. Like I say, I will see you all next week. And of course, we will be enjoying the general election, because if these past 2 days are anything to go by, oh boy, it is going to be just gaffe after gaffe after gaffe. But have an absolutely fantastic weekend. Like I say, it is absolutely cracking today in Yorkshire. So hopefully it is time for
this week as well. We'll be on the Labour Social. I was on the Labour Social last night, but I won't be on the Labour Social this coming Friday. Again, just because I won't be in the country. But of course, as always, thank you very much for watching. Go out, have an absolutely cracking weekend. Do not forget to click the like and share button on your way out. There are links down below to help support the channel, the Patreon page, the Buy Me Coffee link, the YouTube thank you button. You can still super chat in the very last couple of minutes if you'd like to help support the channel. And of course, as always, there is the Pony Club down below. So thank you very much to everyone helping and support the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment as well. Helps with all the algorithmical stuff as well. So thank you very much for joining me today. We'll see you next weekend for another Good Morning Walk. Watch out for the videos coming out this week. They're probably going to be either YouTube shorts or maybe a bit of a video like this very quickly, depending, of course, what happens. We might get multiple videos next week, depending what gaffes happen. I mean, we could get lots of video, probably with me by the pool. But anyway, as always, have an absolutely fantastic weekend. Have an absolutely wonderful time. Go out, enjoy yourselves. Don't forget your sunscreen, because it is absolutely a corker of a day today. So as always, go out, enjoy yourselves. And as always, we'll see you all next time.